You want to know the 5 work from home tips for accounting teams? My business, TOA Global, has enabled over 1,600 people to work from home over the last week with great results. Today, I'm going to cover off my top 5 tips for enabling success with a work from home environment. The first one is for team members. Make sure you have your own work environment. Now, these are challenging times where it's not just us individually working from home, but our whole families are there, our kids are there. There's lots of unusual distractions that are not normally there in a normal work from home environment. So my first tip is really find an area of your house which is just yours to work out of. If that's a study, then have that as your work environment. Don't mix your personal and your work into one. So if you're going to have a lunch break like you normally would, clean up your work area and go and have lunch like you normally would within your house. So you need to really make certain that you have a separation of work areas and personal areas. If you don't have enough room in your house and you're using the kitchen table as your work area, my tip would be is set that up to be able to work. If you're going to have a lunch break, pack it all up and put it away. And at the end of the lunch break, come back and set it up again and work. Really try and keep your work and your personal environment very separate during these times. The second tip that I have is around ensuring you have a clear schedule for the day. Now, being at home, there's many distractions, particularly with the kids there. So having a very clear schedule of what you're doing at what time during the day, much like you would if you're working in an office environment. It's really key during these times you have a really structured schedule. When are you going to have your morning tea break? When are you going to have your lunch? When are you going to have your afternoon tea break? And in between that, what are the key things that you need to do? And making sure that your family also understand those boundaries of what you need to achieve in the day. Making sure that they understand that during these times when you need to be productive, that you are being productive. And when you're having lunch breaks, that's the time that you're going to be there for them as a parent or brother or sister or husband or wife. The third thing is really having morning and evening rituals. Now, the key to success with this is that you're potentially not even leaving your house. In most of the countries we operate, our team can't leave their house. So how do we ensure that we can separate our work life and our personal life during these times when we can't leave the walls of our house? So the key is having your morning rituals like you normally would. Wake up and do the things, do your exercise, spend time with your family over breakfast, then get into your work schedule. And then at the end of the day, make sure that you switch off everything from work, pack it up, put it away, because at the end of the day, that's your personal time. You can't, if you don't put boundaries in place, you'll be really working 24 hours a day. Your mind won't stop. So you need to have really key, early morning rituals, evening rituals. How do you wind down and do that? For me, it's reading a book in bed before I go to sleep. It's turning off the phone and it's focusing on my reading and then falling asleep. For business owners, there's a few key things that you need to do to enable a work from home environment. The first one is really around your IT and your cybersecurity, ensuring that you have a strong password management system in place, ensuring that your team member is accessing your systems in the most effective and safe way possible. Cybersecurity is going to be a significant risk during these times where the people out there that have these as their businesses to hack your systems are going to be waiting for vulnerable situations. So ensure that you're working with your IT company to make certain that these things are in place and that all processes are there so that you aren't at risk at the end of the day. The second thing is making sure that you have clear meeting rhythms with your team. You need to be over communicating with your team during these times. Distance is separating us. People are working in environments they're not used to. Their family are also there. It's challenging and it's hard and it's also very, very isolating. So make sure you over communicate with your team and make sure you're talking about the future and bringing the fun back into business. These are the key areas that you need to focus on, the key 5 areas that you need to focus on while your team are working from home during these challenging times. And always remember, these times will pass. The future looks bright. It's just a matter of when we get there. Keep the positivity with your team, keep focused, keep productive, and keep serving your clients. That's at the end of the day what we're in business to do.